Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pink Fresh Studios YouTube channel, our weekly live. Kathleen, I'm going to let you
Hi.
take it away, girl.
Um, Let me refresh my screen real quick because I'm not showing up. Okay, there I am. So, hi everyone. Let me just still trying to figure it out whole out with Ecamm and everything. So you can see that we have a little bit of a different setup today, and I think that's going to be great. So, welcome everyone. Today I'm not alone. I'm really happy that Carissa is joining me for this sneak peek live that we are doing today, which is going to be a lot of fun because we will, as the name suggests, sneak peek some of the upcoming products. And yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
I think so too. And bear with us because we are trying something just a little different today. We're brave. What can we say? Our first time live together, and we're going to try out some new technology. But I think it's going to go, I think everything's going to be wonderful. We're all going to have a good time. And that's the important thing. But we do have some giveaways, right? For
Exactly.
today.
Yeah. So for the people joining us in the live chat, we are giving away the entire release, which is a $470 value. So it's a big release. And for those of you who can't join us, who are watching the replay, don't be afraid. We didn't forget you. So we are also giving away two $50 gift cards in the comments. So if you are watching the replay, just leave us a comment and then you are entered to win as well.
That's amazing. The whole stinking release. And I just have to go back up here because it is Sharon's birthday today. Sharon Drennan, happy birthday. We're so glad you're here with us. So, should we
Happy
like
birthday.
I'll tell them how they can enter to win. So just chat along. You can share this video in a Facebook group if it's allowed, or through a text message or email with a friend. You can chat, answer questions. I'm not sure that we have a moderator today, so
Yeah.
it's just us. And when we get to creating, we'll do the best that we can. But if we miss something, just have patience with us. And then if you're watching on the replay, leave a comment below. Let us know what you're excited about in the new release that we're sneak peeking today, and that'll get you entered to win.
Exactly. And we actually do have a moderator. So today it's Kinnery behind the Pink Fresh Studio name. So hi,
That's
Kinnery.
amazing. Awesome. Thank you, Kennery, for being with us. So
Exactly.
should
So
we
I
should we just
think,
do it? We should go. We should go
yeah.
down to our desktop here. I think this is the right button right here. If you want to go ahead and switch your
Let's see.
camera.
Yeah, I'll try. we, as
Look at
Carissa
that.
said, we are
Oh,
trying
you're
something else.
upside down. You
Yeah,
are
I'm upside down.
upside down. On my end, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Everybody can let me know, but I mean,
Hold
I
on,
think
hold
we can
on.
make it work.
I will check it out. As
Okay.
we said, we are trying new things, so give us a second.
And I'm going to see if I can do anything on my end to kind of rotate. Here, let me rotate you. Let me see if I can
If
do
you can,
this real
then just go
quick.
ahead.
Yeah. Look at that. I fixed it. We're all good.
Perfect.
Everybody's right side up. Look at that. Okay. So, what are we sneaking today, Kathleen?
So we decided to sneak peek a product suite called Floral Field. And I will get my camera a bit further up in a second. So this product suite consists of a die and a coordinating stencil. And you can see it's a really fun die. And a 7-piece stencil set. So we have a lot to do today.
We sure
And
do.
I also pulled out a new standalone die for our essentials dies called Nested Ovals Double Stitch. Not sure if Carissa is going to use this one as well, but we
You
will
know
see.
what? I am, but I can change mid. We'll see. I have something, as I told you when we were chatting beforehand, I have something a little ambitious planned. So we'll
Yeah,
see. I have like a window card in my brain, but once we get the stenciling done, we'll see where we can go with this. So I'm just going to get some paper into my Misty. Now there's a couple ways you can do this stencil. You can line it up with the little hash marks that are on the actual
Yep.
stencil set that'll fit with an A2 panel. Or you can, this is a little cheater method that I like to do. I like to find something with a corner, like a Misty, a stamp wheel would work, whatever you have. I like to line up my paper in that corner, and then I like to just use a little bit larger paper than what you actually need, and I like to just line up the stencil then into the corner. And every time I switch my stencil out, I'm just gonna make sure it's in that lower corner, and then everything should line up in the end. So that's kind of what I like to do. And then also just to point out, like if you're ever confused on which layer you're working on the back of the stencil pack, you always have this kind of guide or this mock-up here that will show you kind of what you're working on. So Kathleen's doing it her way, and I love that, so that you're getting to see a couple of different things here.
Yeah, and I'm also, so I have a little bit of a different cheat method for lining up the stencils. So if you have a look at the stencils, they are all 5 inches wide. So I just cut my piece of cardstock to 5 inches wide, put it on my, like I have a magnetic mat here, and then I just put the stencil like right up to the upper edge and the edge on the left side. So I know that every time I put another stencil down and I put it exactly like this, they will line up. So that's my cheat
awesome.
method.
And then you'll notice I'm already stenciling because I just got right in here. I'm using sage ink, but you'll notice on these stencils, these are a lot like the coordinating stencil die sets that Pink Fresh has released in the past. They have the little triangle guides that you're going to ink over, and you want to make sure that you get ink into those triangle areas, because when we use the coordinating die, we want to make sure that we have those there, because those are going to help us line up that die.
Exactly.
We didn't even talk about what colors we were using. What color are you using?
I'm also using, I pulled out sage, actually.
Oh, look at that.
It's
Great minds.
just one of my favorite greens.
You know what is interesting to me is that you can always use the same colors as someone else, and they're gonna look different, just with different styles and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and just by combining it with a different color for the flowers, for example, it will also get a different
And we didn't
look,
even
so-
talk about that. I wonder if we pulled out the same colors for flowers.
Actually, I haven't pulled out any colors yet, so.
Oh, look at that. She's real brave.
I'm
She's like, I'm just going to go by the seat of my pants.
Yep. We will see how that ends up, but yeah.
You know what? I generally, when I go live, I have not created the card before. So I maybe have a color scheme in mind or whatever, but it's not like something that I've walked myself through. So I just,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
it's live
Me
crafting.
neither, so.
Okay, you're on to stencil number 2, and I'm going the same way. Another green here.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm going to use a
while-
different color green.
While I might normally maybe do a little bit of shading, because we are working with 7 stencils today and this is a live, I'm not going to do that.
I hadn't planned on it either, because the cool thing about the die set that I think everybody will see when we use it is that really adds some detail to these florals. And we're creating this whole floral field scene. And when you're working with something like that, you let the dies do the work for you. So
Yeah, that's true. And besides, with something like this where you don't have a stamped image, you could always go back in with a small blending brush once you've die cut your image, and even add some shadows or some depth later if you want to.
absolutely. There's this one little piece at the bottom that I'm like, okay, get some ink in there. Okay. And I'm not, I think I've talked about this before, I'm not really a clean as you go kind of girl. I'll clean up all my stencils at the end.
Yep. I just throw them like behind me on my desk with the dirty stencils, and then after the live I will clean them.
Yeah. I need a little helper to come in. Actually, I have a helper home today. She doesn't have school until the afternoon, so I might just get my little helper girl in here to do some things for me. So this is stencil number 3. I'm going in order. I just pulled them out of the package and I'm just going in order. And I'm using olive.
I have stencil number 3 too, yeah. I think I'm going to use, for the second one I use spruce tips. So I think for the third one I'm going to use eucalyptus.
Perfect. And I used eucalyptus for the second one, and I'm using olive for the third one. And olive, eucalyptus, and sage are in different color families. So I just wanted to show you how you can mix and match color families within the Pink Fresh family, and you know, it's gonna work.
That's true.
Okay.
I think someone is talking about the 1-inch blending brushes. So because someone said I waited too long to check out last time, and the brushes were already gone. So new brushes are on the way. I think they will be restocked really, really soon. So if you are looking for the 1-inch blending brushes that are, you know, kind of a must-have, to be honest, then definitely, if you haven't done so already, definitely sign up for the notifications in the Pink Fresh Studio shop so that you don't miss it this time.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like someone was having some issues with the feed, but it looks like everybody else is okay. So if that person could just refresh, and maybe it's, you know, it'll work out for them.
Yeah.
So, okay. I love that color. That looks beautiful. So I have the 3 really different fresh greens going on.
Oops.
And now we get into the flowers. And I'm going to look at the back of my packaging again, because it's going to show me kind of which flowers I'm looking at. So I can tell I'm looking at the yellow flowers right now by this big, large flower right there. And I have 2, I'm going to do pinks and purples, which I don't do a lot of purple.
I haven't pulled up my colors, but I was actually looking at pinks and purples.
Well, I can switch. I can do an orange and a purple.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to switch. I haven't pulled anything out, so I'm going to switch. And
I had a backup
you said pinks
plan.
and purples, right?
I said pinks and purples, yeah. But I had a backup plan in case we were on the same page.
So I'm going to grab some oranges and we will see.
You guys can help Kathleen out in the comments. She's going to use orange for the first. So what do you want her to use with the orange?
So just as a reminder, so this is what it's going to look like. So on the example, there are 2 different colors, but you could actually use even more if you wanted to, because the flowers are spaced quite far apart. So you could even do different colors on one stencil if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that right now because, you know, for time's sake and everything, and because I haven't even pulled out colors, so I just don't want to but you could definitely do that.
For sure. These are very far apart. So it's like you have one here and one here and one here. So I feel like you could even do it without doing a lot of masking. You wouldn't have to.
Yep.
So I know someone out there is going to do this because they have the patience to do it. Someone's going to do like this rainbow theme where the colors are going to be rainbow all the way down.
Yep.
I never have patience for stuff like that. So
I was thinking about it for this set because as the flowers are so far apart, it's a bit more, you know, it's easier. You wouldn't have to do any masking or not a lot. So I might do it, but you know, at the same time, I'm sure someone else will do it. So I might just as well wait.
Yeah. So someone said orange and aqua. Someone said blue. Someone said orange and pink for you, Kathleen. So those are our votes so far.
Those are all good options, but
those are all good options. Even the purple would be really beautiful with the orange as well, which was my like plan B if I had to go there.
And I think I saw Kinnery say something like, it's going to look really strange once we are done with the stenciling. And that's true. So when this image is done, before die cutting it, it does look a little bit strange, but don't be discouraged by that. So
Yeah, you have to just trust the process on products like this and just keep going. Promise,
exactly.
it's going to be beautiful.
And sometimes I feel like, especially with something like this, if you don't really know what to expect from it, or if it looks a bit strange, like just in the packaging, just try it out once, just with some scrap paper. Don't use your
Yeah,
good cardstock if you don't feel like it, and just try it with some colors, and then you will see how this stencil works, and then you can, do your actual project with it
for
if you
sure.
feel intimidated by the product.
I honestly, sometimes I do that, you know, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't understand if
Yeah.
I look at the die and I'm like, I just don't get it, I'll just cut it out of some white cardstock. And then the other thing is you can set that aside for like a layering piece, if it's a die
Yeah.
cut or something like that. And
Exactly.
sometimes we don't know where we're going and we end up with something really good in the end anyway. So just do it with something you might could use later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, those oranges look beautiful. Which oranges did you use, Kathleen?
I used Sunkissed for the lighter one and then Mimosa on top.
Oh, beautiful. Now here's where Carissa is being brave. Purple, I mean, I'm just not gonna lie. It's really not my thing usually. But I do love the Candy Violet from Pink Fresh. It is like my favorite. It has like pink in it. It's like a pinky
Mm-hmm.
purple or like a fuchsia-y purple. I do like that. So I pulled that out to use with this
Yeah,
lilac. And
I think that's going to look really good.
yeah.
Okay, I think, you know what, I think, I know a lot of people suggested something like aqua or blue, but I'm usually not the type to go for these like complementary color schemes, with like blue and orange
So you're
or,
going to go yellow or
yeah,
pink.
either yellow or pink.
Yeah,
That's
go
what I'm
right
leaning
next to
to.
each other on the color wheel.
Let's do pink.
Angela says she doesn't reach for purple very often either. I have to remind myself to do it. And purple was my grandma's favorite color, so she would probably be so disappointed that I don't use it more often.
I used to like really don't like purple a few like up until recently actually, and now I don't know, I really like purple, but it may also be because of my son. It's his favorite color.
Oh,
So yeah,
that's very
purple is
cool.
his favorite color, and he tries to steal all of my purple ink pads all the time, all of my purple like glitter drops and things like that. So yeah, I always have to keep an eye on for that.
So I am using the OG purples, and I never can remember the color family names, but there is another
Yeah.
purples family as well, which has the sheer, freesia, wisteria, hydrangea, and opulence, and they're a little more like on the blue side of the purple
Mm-hmm.
families. So those are beautiful options as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I know that people may think it looks weird without, the die cutting, which it's going to look amazing when we die cut it, but I think it looks actually kind of cool the way it is. It's very like graphic feeling.
Yeah.
Now, you could use this on its own, like without the die. You're not going to
Yeah.
get the detail that the die is going to add, and we'll show that to you. But if you were doing that, you would want to make sure you're not inking over these triangles, or you're going to have some real weird triangles in your finished project. But that
That's
would be
true.
easy to mask off and use on its own. It's going to give you a little more simple graphic effect.
That's true. Someone was asking what pinks I'm using. So for the lighter one, I use Sparkling Rose, and then I'm going to use Bubblegum for the shading or the detail layer. And which pinks did you use, Carissa?
I used cherry blossom and peony.
Okay.
So I used
So
the
kind of
warmer
the
pinks,
reddish
reddish
pinks.
warm pinks, yeah. And I was going to say something and I totally spaced. It was on what you said earlier, but my brain just went whoop, out one side, in one side and out the other. Now, the other thing you could do, because these are stencils, pastes, embossing powders, things like that, always fun to use on like a layer
Yeah.
for something like that. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think like
And
a white glitter paste or something on top of the detail layer would look good.
yeah, 7 stencils and we're already done with that. Look at that.
Yep.
So easy.
Yep.
So let's show the magic of these beautiful images. But they're beautiful on their own, but just wait until we add the dye. Look at that. I love
the purples.
I love the pink and the yellow or the orange that you did. I really do.
And I love your colors. I love the purple.
Let's trade. That would be really hard to do. So now we're going to line up our dies. And I'm going to throw something on the floor as I do that. Now here is the trick to lining up these dies. The trick is that you're going to use those triangles that you inked over and you're going to look through the triangles on the dies and you're going to line those up with those inked triangles and then hold it in place and run it through. So it's really not super hard to do. I'm just looking through the die. Do you see how all of my triangles have ink in them?
And the great thing about those dies is it's the same as with the embroidered blooms die that is, it does have a little bit of a wiggle room. So, you know, there is a little bit of ink blended space around the die cut image. And you will see that in a second.
Yeah, like a little bleed is what you would call it in like the design world.
Oops. Just pushed my ink pad from my desk.
I just dropped something too. I had to go and pick it up. Otherwise, later I have my dogs that'll come in here and eat it all. I'm still die cutting, so you're good.
Okay, just so I can really say, I can't wait to see its impatience. So I'm just going to make her wait a little bit longer.
Okay, I think we are ready. Are we ready for the big reveal?
Yep.
I have to pull my tape off.
Oops, I missed a flower. I did not see that.
I'm gonna smack mine on the table. Look.
That's, yeah.
Oh!
I usually do that too.
Do you see all, I'm hoping that everybody can kind of see all these detail lines that are then added to the flower from the die. And then you have this piece that's just like open in all of the areas. And then of course, as Kathleen was talking about, that little bit of bleed that you have there to help you get it lined up.
So you can see that there's no white line around any of the flowers, even though, you know, I might have placed the die not 100% perfect. So that's the only thing that happened with me is I have a completely white flower in the upper right corner.
Oh, you forgot to ink it.
I completely missed it on one of the stencils, but that's what I said. This one would be really easy to just add now. Like,
right, you could even line up the stencil over that. Why don't you do that and I'll work on my window for the front of my card.
Actually, I'm not even going to use the stencil. I'm just going to...
She's just going to ink it. Are you going to use the stencil for like the Oh, that one doesn't even have a detail layer. So you're...
Yeah, exactly. So
you're great. Perfect.
I'm just...
Okay. So I'm taking the Nested Ovals double stitch here. These are brand new. This is another sneak peek. And I created with some pink cardstock that I thought would match that peony really well, and it does. And I'm going to just create a window in the front of this card. This is an A2 size card.
It's so funny. I had so many of the same ideas.
Is this what you're doing? Because I'm going to stop if you're doing this.
No, it's all good. No, I had 2 different ideas, so it's good.
Next time we'll coordinate a little bit better.
And you will not believe what color I put on my desk to maybe use for the background.
Was it pink? Oh my goodness. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just running that through. And I'm going to use this and make a frame as well.
Okay, so I'm just going to, because I did play around with the nested oval double stitch die beforehand, and I already created a frame using some glitter cardstock. So I'm not going to die cut it again, just for the sake of showing you how to die cut it. I'm just going to go ahead and use this frame.
Perfect. And I did not make my frame ahead of time. So I'm making mine. I'm just adding the one that I used for the window and the one that's larger onto my cutting mat, and then I'm going to run those through at the same time, and I'll have a frame that has that beautiful double stitch on it. Julie Urban says creative minds think alike.
Yep.
The frame turned out beautiful. And then I have, of course, the oval on the inside of this one, and then the pink one, which I've already thrown somewhere else that I can use on a different project. So we're good.
I'm just trying to figure out, because I want to put the oval on top of the flowers, obviously. So I'm just trying to figure out what placement to use. And I do want a little bit of space here at the top. So let's see. But I also don't want this one to show completely, because it does have like the tips of the flowers cut off, because that's the end of the die. So just trying to figure out the best placement.
Oh, I like that. That looks really good.
And then checking comments real quick.
Yeah, I think they're doing good out there from what I'm seeing. Auto monthly pink fresh box. That's what someone said.
And now brace yourselves. I'm going to cut the flowers. So
they're going to be okay. Everybody just, you're going to be okay. She's cutting the beautiful flowers.
Just breathe. But I'm not going to throw them away, of course. I'm going to use them.
No, you could totally use them on something else. I went with silver this time, which that's another unusual choice for me. If you know me, you've been around me.
Yeah. I think I grabbed the champagne. So I usually also reach for gold. I just love gold. But I really love the champagne glitter cardstock. I think it's called champagne, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, exactly. So Deborah said you could even do a shaker card. So that would be great for a shaker card. First of all, the oval is a nice, easy shape to do. And then having some sequins or, glitter drops or whatever peek out from behind the flowers, that would also be really fun.
Absolutely. And I am going, so I have this card base that has my window in it. And then I have a second white card base that I'm going to actually adhere this piece that I've created from the Floral Fields. I kept thinking, man, I'm going to get this wrong. And the right one was in my head and I didn't want to say it because I was like, I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to adhere that onto my second card base, but this time I'm putting the fold line at my right-hand side, because eventually what I'm going to do is adhere these together and create a trifold. So it'll open like this.
That's really fun.
And then we get to sneak something else today too, which I'm really excited about. So we're not done with the sneak peeks.
Nope.
And I was working with this release yesterday. I was creating my cards for the release, and man, it is so much fun. I can't wait to share
Yeah.
those.
I have a few favorites in this release that I just can't really stop using. So for one of the I actually had to make myself not use it on the next project.
You're like, stop, stop.
Yeah. I can't do every single card with this, so yeah.
I mean, you could, but
I could, but you know.
we'll give it some variety. Okay. So I'm going to place this. This is going to fill up the entire front of my A2 card, which is wonderful. And this, Kathleen was talking about earlier, sometimes, you know, you can't see where it's going or whatever. This is one of those that I took the die and I just cut it out on its own just to see what it looks like. Look at how cool this looks in just white.
Yeah.
You could put this
That's
on
true.
like a colored cardstock background and it would just be so much fun. And stack it up, give it some dimension, and I love that.
Yeah.
So I
someone
have
asked
mine.
when the release. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Someone asked when the release will be available. So it will be next week. So 1 week from today, February 11th, 9 a.m. CST will be when the release goes live in the Pinkfresh Studio shop. And at the same time, I think at the same time, we will have a blog hop to, you know, give you even more inspiration with it. Lots of beautiful projects and yeah, lots of fun.
It's going to be fun. It always is. And you know, there's always prizes when those come around. So,
Yep.
so on a trifold card, a lot of times when you're putting these two pieces together, you're going to notice that one kind of like you get this overhang. So what I'm going to do is now that I have my flowers onto this, I'm going to just trim like a hair off of this side of my card front, even with the flowers and everything. So hold your breath, everybody, again. It's okay. You know that saying, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. You have to cut confidently when you do stuff like that so that you don't tear anything. Yeah, Roadrunner said, oh, spring is in the air. Yeah, these feel like spring personified.
Yeah. So I'm still debating which color to use for my background. I have this sort of coral peach, which I like, which I would usually go for, to be honest, with this, with the orange and the pink. But I feel like the yellow really adds like a very springy, and I think someone said like Easter look to it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
in this, like in the, with our whole theme today of trying things we normally don't do, or like colors, I think I'm going to go with the yellow. Because I
Okay.
would usually do coral. So today is all for trying new things. New
All
technology,
for it.
colors, new everything.
Breaking out. I often talk about this, but sometimes when you are breaking out of your comfort zone, it's helpful to include something you're comfortable with. So like when I have the purple that I'm not necessarily always doing, oh, I totally did this wrong. Everybody, you should have stopped me. I have a fix though. I put my adhesive on the wrong part, but guess what? I have a panel here. We make it work. I wasn't thinking that through. But so with the purple, you know, bringing a pink in and the greens that I'm familiar with makes it kind of one of those things where it doesn't feel so foreign that it's just like,
Yep. So what I'm going to do, because I have some flowers left over that I cut off, I'm actually going to fussy cut some of them and layer them into my window so that I have some dimension, some layers, because I love dimension. So yeah. And that way I don't waste any of the flowers.
okay, this is what I really meant to do, is put adhesive over here. Do you see? I just stuck another panel on the back of that and covered up that adhesive. It's going to be thick card. We're okay with that though. We've never shied away from a thick card. Okay, I have to like focus on this for a second. Make sure I get it where I want it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have my two cards kind of glued together. So now we can have this trifold fun going on. So you get a peek of the florals through the window, and then when you open it, you see the entire thing. And then you have a place on the inside to write your message. And if you want to, you can actually just make this white on the inside. So it's kind of up to you. Or I know what I could do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to die cut a white oval and make that the place where you can put your message on the inside. Yeah,
Someone
trifold.
said that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Someone said that I fussy cut really fast. So the secret to this is that you just, for example, with an image like this, there are no clear lines. As in, no one will know if you cut like 1/8 of an inch into the flower or not. You know, no one will know. So just cut it, and then you save time that way.
Yeah. I'm going to just take a little bit off the top of this. Okay, better. This will go on the inside so I can write my message there. And then we get that oval kind of like repeated through the card. So that's kind of a fun way to bring that in, that element in again. And then if you, like for this one, the cardstock on the front is a little bit lighter weight. You could make a belly band to kind of keep this closed if you wanted to, or when it goes into the envelope, it's gonna stay closed. Teresa says, Kathleen, you could put one of those cut flowers on the inside of the card too.
I could, but I want to use them as layers.
I love that idea. So a few ways to use them. Okay. So I think I am good there. I love this on a colored cardstock. I mean, just the white, I think it's so much fun. Just like that graphic look, and then like a black sentiment, just that little bit of color on the background with a black and white sentiment would be so fabulous. I have a little bit of time as you're working through that portion. So I'm going to cut.
Yeah, that's a little bit tedious. So this part is a bit tedious, but at the same time, I just can't not do it because I love having things pop up from the background. So
I'm going to just cut a couple 1-inch strips, adhere them together in the center where I will put my sentiment when we get there. So I'm like making this one super long piece by adhering them together. I'm going to cover that up with my sentiment, that little bit of overlap. And then what I will do is kind of hold this where I think I want it. And I'm going to take my bone folder. Where did you go? It's supposed to be in the drawer. Here it is. It's in the wrong container in the drawer. I'm going to just hold this here. I'm going to score along the side of this to create my score lines. And then I'll create that belly band that we were talking about.
Okay, I just had an idea, and I have to take my card apart a little bit for that.
She's doing card surgery, y'all.
I want to do a little bit, like a very, very light faded blue behind the flowers, like a
Oh,
sky.
that'll be nice. Okay, so I've folded this around my card, and the adhesive on the back doesn't bother me. So if it bothers you, then maybe use a solid cardstock instead of vellum. Like that would be my recommendation. You could definitely use like a solid cardstock. And then on the front of the card, what I'll do is I'm gonna pop my sentiment up right over that seam that's created by the vellum, which is kind of even hard to see, but it's right here-ish on there. And that will be the place where I land my sentiment. And it will be a beautiful way to kind of keep this all contained and close together. Yeah, they're loving the blue for the sky.
Yeah, that was kind of a last minute idea.
And Laura said, today I learned to use tape runner and not wet glue, so it's much easier to alter. Yeah, I go back and forth. If it's a small like little thing, then I'll use like liquid glue, or if there's a lot of small details. But if it's something bigger, I'm more apt to use tape runner.
Same, yeah.
Bo
Especially
asks,
because if it's
go ahead.
especially if it's something bigger, if I use liquid glue for something bigger, I always make a mess of it and just get all like glue all over my hands and yeah.
Yeah. And then Bo asked, is that vellum or a ribbon? This is vellum. So I just cut 2 1-inch strips and kind of connected them. And then Deborah Roberts said, it's funny how we start out with one idea and before we are finished, it morphs into something completely different. And Deborah, I think that it is so important that we allow that to happen, right? Because otherwise we wouldn't experience new things if we didn't just like kind of allow that process to take place.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not even sure if it really picks up on the screen, the blue. It
It
a little
does.
bit,
I can
but
see it. Yeah. I can totally see it. I'm just doing some comments while I kind of wait for you to finish that part so that we can sneak the next part together. But also I can do a little bit of embellishing too, because I think I'm going to add some embellishments to mine. Very simple embellishments. I love the clear drops. I think they're just a fun way to add some shine and draw the eye in without bringing in an additional color or without, you know, making it too over the top. So they are one that I reach for a lot. And if you wanted just like a little bit more, there's the iridescent drops as well.
Yeah. They are really, really great too. So I'm just going to use one of the flowers that I cut off from the excess, and I'm going to layer this on top of an already existing flower to have like this sort of actual 3-dimensional second layer, not just with the ink blending, but also with like this paper layer.
That's a great idea. And I love that they're kind of getting a couple ways to use this, because you don't always have to use it as a whole piece. And I will, in fact, something that I will show you with the one that I had already cut out of white cardstock. If you take this and put it on a horizontal card and have it kind of coming up in the center, that's another fun way to use this. So you could use it as a horizontal card and have the edges, like those margins there.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, Kathleen?
Okay, I think I'm ready for the sentiment.
Okay, let me just drop this right there. I haven't glued them down yet, but we can glue them down in a second. And tell tell the fine people what we are using today.
So let's see. We have in the new release, there is a really fun sentiment stamp set with a coordinating die set. So it's just sentiments, but it's definitely one of my favorite sentiment stamp sets from Pink Fresh Studio, I think, ever. Because I really like the combination of fonts. So you get sentiments with sort of a scripty font, like handwritten style, and then also combined with a regular kind of printed font. And they all sort of revolve around, I mean, it's called You Are My Rainbow, the stamp set. So they all revolve around this sort of rainbow theme, friendship. So some of the sentiments are, you are in my thoughts. May your day be filled with joy. Friend, you are my rainbow, which I think is a beautiful sentiment. The sky's the limit, also great. He's sending you sunshine and rainbows. You are my miracle and happy vibes. So I think it's a really versatile stamp set. With a great size, and you get a die for every single one of them.
Yes, I love that. Even there's like this little happy vibes. There's a die for that one too, which I think is fantastic. So which one are you going to use?
Yeah.
Because then I'll pick what, since I've hogged all the colors and all the window card ideas today, you pick your sentiment first and then I'll go in and pick mine.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with May your day be filled with joy.
Perfect. So I am going to use, I think I'm going to use You're in My Thoughts. And I'm going to heat emboss mine.
Yeah, same.
Oh, look at that.
I wish there was, to be honest, I wish there was a press plate for this set. So, Kinnery.
Oh, I'm
just
not
a
going to
note.
lie either. I was kind of like, where's my press plate for this? I need a foiled sentiment.
Exactly. But maybe, who knows? We can convince Kinnery that this is a necessity that has to be released.
So I'm using my Misty stamping tool, and normally in a live, I would probably just stamp this and go, but I'm going to be honest. I don't know if it's the weather here or if my ink pad needs to be re-inked or what's going on, but I feel like my paper is just sucking up my embossing ink lately. So I just need to like stamp it a few times to get a good coat on there so that I'm, able to get the embossing powder to stick. So. What time is it over there? I should have asked this before we went live, but I've been wanting to know the whole time.
It's almost 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Wow.
Yeah. So it's still, not that it's a good time actually to do this, to be honest.
Oh, good. So are you usually a night crafter or are you more like a daytime crafter?
I'm usually a night crafter, but since I should say I usually was a night crafter, but since my son is now 4.5 years old, but still with a child, it's sometimes you just need to sleep. So
yeah, for sure.
So night crafting doesn't happen, even though that's normally the time when I'm more creative. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm usually a daytime crafter. So Kinnery said that they tried these in press plates and that the proof looked a little wonky, and that's true of some press plates. Like not every design works for a press plate. So she said they may keep trying if the demand is there, but at first go, didn't look like press plates were going to be a thing that was going to work out. So you can put your encouragement for that in the comments if you would like. I re-stamped mine because I did find I had a little shadow on mine. I probably moved my paper around. And so, are you using, what color embossing powder? Are you using silver?
It's a platinum, so it does match a little bit better with the champagne glitter cardstock.
And I'm using silver, which is sterling.
I'm just going to, do I have to mute myself or does it mute when I use the heat gun?
I don't think anybody cares. Do you guys care if you hear a little heat gun? I mean, it is what it is. And I'm gonna heat set mine as well. So we're just gonna heat set away for a second. So the key to melting embossing powder is you just want to go until it's melted and then stop, right? You want to move the heat tool away from the embossing powder once it's got that smooth, non-grainy, shiny look. And that will help you get better embossed sentiments, especially on something like this fine. You don't want to overheat. It will melt right into the cardstock, and then you're going to have, not results that you are going to love. That's for sure. Okay, so once that's kind of cooled, then I like to take my microfiber cloth, just wipe away any of my extra powder tool that's on the surface, and then I will grab the coordinating die and cut that out, as I'm sure Kathleen is doing as well.
Yep.
I always love this part of the live when you're towards the end and you've destroyed your work surface with all the things that you've thrown.
Yep.
Then you can't find anything.
Things keep falling off the desk.
Yeah.
It's always. And I like that the dies cut really closely to the edge of the sentiment, and also cuts like the inside. So it's a very what's the word I'm looking for? Detailed die cut.
Yeah, and like a very finished look too.
Yeah.
I'm cutting a second one just to kind of disguise the adhesive on the back side of my vellum layer that I have here. And I'm gonna lock a couple of these droplets in place because I'm gonna pull off my belly band and I don't want to move them. I have them where I want.
So I have two of the same sentiment already die cut from, when I was playing around with the products that I know I won't use those, so I will just use them as layers behind my actual die cut. So just to stack it up a little bit, because dimension.
Because we like it. We like it.
Yep.
And I've decided
you
my
could
belly
definitely
band
skip that.
is too wide for this sentiment, so I'm slipping it off. This is the live of changed minds, right?
That's true.
And all I'm gonna do is take it to my trimmer and just shave some off. Maybe like 3/8 of an inch. I love eighths. If you didn't learn your fractions in school, I'm so sorry, because I'm a big fan of eighths. So I'm like gluing this to the front of the vellum belly band, and then I'm going to glue the other layer to the back of the vellum belly band to kind of sandwich that in, kind of hide a little bit.
Sense.
So
that's a good idea. And I like how this sentiment, so I used May Your Day Be Filled with Joy. I like how it sort of staggers. Not sure if that's the right word, but it's...
yeah, it like
and
is
it goes
offset.
of the oval actually.
Okay. So mine is sandwiched. I have one layer on the back of the belly band, one layer on the front of the belly band, and that just makes my little crafty heart so happy. I'm holding it there for a second. We're doing really great on time.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mean, we haven't done just the basics today. We've done, we've stepped it up a little. We've done some fussy cutting. We've done some trifold. We've done 7 layers of stenciling.
So I think even though I would like to show everyone a different idea for the gems, I think I'm also going to go with the clear drops just because there's a lot going on here and I just don't want to like add too much, but at the same time I do want to add something. So
like not overdo it.
Yeah. But if you kept like the color scheme of this a little bit more neutral or without the glitter frame, for example, then you could definitely add some colored like clear drops or glitter drops. I think that those would look really nice, but just with the combination I already have going on here, I think it's too much.
For sure. And my dogs are talking to me again. I don't know why. Every time I go live, they think they need to say something, but it is what it is. I apologize if it's
who knows, they might have something really important to say.
There might be something important, but I doubt it. I just added a couple more drops onto my belly band as well, because I just felt like bringing that shine onto there helped kind of bring out the sentiment a little bit and just draw your eye to that just a little bit more. So if anybody has questions while Kathleen's working on her embellishment, I would love to answer those for you. So I'm going to see if my daughter can go quiet them real quick. Lori says she's late to the party. Don't worry, you can go back and watch the whole thing. So here we are here. I love the purple and the pink together. I'm not hating on the purple right now.
I think I'm good.
You think you're good?
I'm not going to add any more.
Awesome. So let's hold them up. Couple of similar ideas. I love that you get, I love that we've shown that you can cut this down because they look similar to begin with. But when you open this, you get that full effect of that floral field, which I think is so much fun. So a couple of ways you can kind of envision how a card with this would look. And isn't that a beautiful idea too? So just placing it on a full A2 card and letting that speak for itself. I feel Mother's Day in this so much too. Easter, Mother's Day, spring, like all the things.
That's true.
So colors, florals work for so many occasions. So, and then of course we have our opening where we can add our sentiment as well. So.
But I love the full effect of the whole A2 panel with the flowers. That looks really good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So they're holding their breath to see who wins. So I think Kinnery can go ahead and announce that whenever she's ready. Marcia Francis, you are the winner for today's giveaway and you won the entire February release. You can email customer service at pinkfreshstudio.com to claim your prize. Of course, they won't probably send it out until the release goes live, so hang in there with that. But wow, you have just won, was it $470 worth of product? That is amazing. And you're going to love all of the other products that are in this release. You're going to actually just like fall over when you see all of it. So do you want to switch back to your face cam so we can
Let's
tell
do
everybody
it.
goodbye?
Yeah. Hold on.
There she is, folks. Kathleen, looking as
Okay.
beautiful as ever.
That was fun.
It was fun. I had so much fun. Thanks for having me here today. I had a great time
Thank
crafting
you for
along with
joining
this
me.
new February release. It was fun to kind of sneak peek a couple of ways to use the new Floral Fields coordinating stencils and die set, and as well as the, is it You Are My Rainbow? Yes, You Are My Rainbow sentiments, and the ovals, of course, a great staple to have in your crafting stash. So I'm going to let you close us out.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, as Carissa said, congratulations, Marsha. For those of you who are catching the replay, don't forget to leave a comment for your chance to win one of two $50 gift cards. And yeah, definitely keep your eyes open for the full release next week for the blog hop. So we're bringing back the blog hop. Last release, we didn't have one. So we are bringing that back, and we're also doing the Instagram hop as usual. So you get lots and lots of inspiration with this whole release. And next week, it's going to be Carissa again with a live.
Hopefully, they're
And I
not tired
think,
of me yet.
I don't think so. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you had as much fun as we did. And yeah, hope to see you again soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye.